Yeah.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his Sunsetias? Isn't that a bit too— Oh, alright.
This should be enough. Ah, guess I should wash them. Huh? You two over there. Is there...
He spotted us!
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Ah, no, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet?
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important. Okay, but please let me...
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't—
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness.
That's oddly no—
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you.
Then let's return to the city!
Here you go, boss.
Oh, you really went and picked some more.
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me.
I was just about to pay you anyway.
What?
I get it, okay? But look, it was pouring down and there... Imagine you and me for a second. But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly.
But I don't... No. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters.
Thank you. All right, done.
What's wrong? Huh?
Hello. I do apologize.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. You say that you are trekking across to Vat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a... But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... I don't like to rely on using terms like this often,
But in your case, it seems that it ought to be...
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So far away...
Okay, I have to ask.
Uh,
Oh, hope you want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation. If it's that difficult to talk about, but I'll be able to handle it.
is truth something you care?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would... You nearly died because of what other people did. And many died because of you. As a non-human being, you drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never...
I gave everything I had.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's true.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not enough to explain the world and all of its complexity.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable and...
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest fans.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk!
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves.
Please, I want to see them for my...
Even though it will cause your present...
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to feel...
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one...
Don't worry, whatever danger I'm...
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point. Give it...
Understood.
Thank you.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information. These memories will show you the raw truth. But be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world.
Sounds like an immersive experience.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't...
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
All right.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great
Is that because this is kind...
You could say that.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't... No, there's no way. Look at this There's someone passed out? You're awake. Huh. Not a...
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa.
And the rest is history.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here.
During the Tatarisuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as a mechanic. The Balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second in command at Tatarisuna, responsibility, but Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabuki Mono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Huh? What are we doing back here?
Whoa, this is where you were born?
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died. He kept coughing all the time, just like...
But you can't.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna...
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different. The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends.
Let's keep going.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Or continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
Fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Permanent of defeat! Trust and remit and invisible evidence! Stars, shine for me. The night is cold.
This is bad. I guess
Incinerate!
this is it.
Shine down!
My guiding stars! Allow me!
Boom boom!
Counterattack.
Motion to compel.
The night is cold.
Illusion shattered.
The loneliness of death. Come at me. Can you run?
Motion to compel.
My guiding stars. Cold. Mine to...
Time for your abatement. Torn to oblivion.
Killjoy. We won't kill you. Is that all you got? You can't run.
Shine down.
Miscalculated.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place.
In the original version of events, the Traveler once encountered...
Such a creepy atmosphere. Hey, look over there.
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me?
What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are. Perhaps you find fighting in the Abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible. And don't let your emotions...
Surely you're not
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like... Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the Look at you. Oh, by then, see you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who? Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story.
Yes. Please.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Gotcha!
Illusion shattered!
Boom! Out of my sight! Bring refuge!
Hold the line! Stars, shine for me. My guidance...
Inadmissible evidence!
Shine down! Inazuma shines eternal! This body belongs to ice.
There you are.
Illusion shattered!
Let me amuse myself a little. Incinerate! Rest and rebuild! The more, the merrier.
Motion to compel! Not now!
No escape!
There is no escape!
Let me amuse myself.
The night is cold.
Oh, now you've got me worked up.
Hold the line.
You can't run from death.
Let me amuse myself a Time for your arraignment! Boom boom!
Not now. Cold. Line to commit.
Shine down!
Rest and rebuild!
Now you shall perish!
Let me amuse myself a little.
Illusion shattered!
Blink! The merrier!
The night is cold.
Over here!
Motion to compel.
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a...
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move in...
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiment?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you
The doctor again?
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes.
In your eyes?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are...
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, no matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean...
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules. With each person as a puppet living in a human world.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. All the emotions that you discarded, are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with the void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, but then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my... I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my... So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain...
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free?
A puppet? What's he doing here?
It's...
You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasu will be thrilled.
This is... my...
done yet?
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
Balladeer?
Die. This is trying my patience.
Have you got all your memories back now?
Got any stupid questions? My fault. Perish! At my command, you vermin! Imbecile!
It disappeared.
What did you expect? I'd never lose to...
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue.
Welcome back, traveler. Paimon.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, after learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the sixth...
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see changing the world, changing the past. What you were looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's... Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information.
Why would you go to such lengths?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from...
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it. Oh, right. I almost forgot. You're the good guys. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And, well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed. Everything that you feel is real and lasting. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they?
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feet. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts...
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but... The most important thing now is that you need to follow Nahida. Otherwise, all our efforts will have been for...
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal.
Ooh! Paimon wants to...
Why?
Because...
Then I hope we don't see much of each other.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I... The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
No! Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name you're after...
Have you got anything? Are you sure? Oh, all right. If you...
There. Now you have a name of...
What about a nickname? Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one. Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the...
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. but it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between... I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them, even though the events have been erased from the world,
I see.
Huh? But...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. All right. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
he's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fierce. So we can finally go eat? Paimon.
Thank you both. I hope...
I've got it! I can end my novel.
You mean because
Yeah! I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the dark clouds had dissipated. Then, one night, as an old man, all these expressions of joy. Life is a story too.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow, girl! Huh? Look at the vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? Like...
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance. But when a small animal runs into it like a vase that falls to the ground,
Who are you?
history does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true.
The voices disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing? Anyway, that feels wrong just leaving it there. Traveler, Paimon! Great timing! We got a lot of letters in the mailbox, and I just finished sorting them into 4 groups. Nice work! Well, the real work hasn't even started yet. Which batch of letters should we read through first? Let me quickly summarize what we found out about. Tainari believes that on closer examination it might be logically paradoxal, while Albedo says that his answer would be better discussed at length in person. As for my answer...
Here's what we've gathered regarding a guide who will never get lost. Mona said that she'd like to join us in uncovering the secret behind the prophecy, while Bennett suggests Fischl, Mona, or the Traveler as potential candidates. Mika didn't submit much, but he did draw a vegetation map for Master Tainari and wrote up a dragon spotting calendar for Amber also wrote in. She said that she sees herself as nobody's guide, but everybody's friend.
As for one who would never lie, Rosaria removed herself from consideration, but both Razor and Sino are willing to support. Timaeus seems to have forgotten to write to us.
And finally, This is what we've gathered on a legend that never ends. Klee said that her mom has a number of friends who like to write storybooks. Lisa believes that legends live forever in people's hearts. I think that for a legend to be never-ending, it has to be filled with hopes and dreams, and actively passed from one person to the next.
So, what are the answers?
You're really smart, Paimon. I bet you can figure it all out in no time. Or, let's all...
Wait! Wait for me!
Oh, Timaeus!
I'm sorry, I really am. The time just got away from me and I didn't...
Huh? This is kind of... Not that we don't trust you, Timaeus, but,
Of course, of course. Do you still remember the time I, collaborated with a certain Miss Ying-R? Well, basically...
Wait! So Ying-R is the girl from Lila that we always assumed you were hard at work every time we saw you at the crafting bench. So you've just been writing letters?
No, I mean, not all the time. I've done some work too. Anyway, a few months ago,
So, at Star Snatch Cliff, you were picking Cecilia's as a gift?
Well, that's right. The Cecilia flower. I know full well that Miss Ying, which brings me to the subject of the... But yesterday, Albedo told me that Sucrose has been working hard to help another girl And when I went to take a look at our roster, I saw that she'd done my remaining work for me. I feel... I've been spending all of my time in my own fantasy world while everyone else has been bending over...
Oh,
And that's why I've decided...
But then what about Ying-R? Yeah. Haven't you been planning this for over a month now? You said you were gonna invite...
Well, yes. I did mention in my letters that I'd like her to visit, which is why I just sent her another gift with my hand-picked wind blooms, along... I explained that a matter of great importance has presented itself, to which I made sure to package the gift and letter with the great... point being, please know that...
Well, you certainly convinced Paimon with that speech. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so it looks like we found our one who would never lie.
Great! Let's keep it up, huh? Okay, Paimon will do the... We have with us here the Huh?
Why did you only say Timaeus' name?
All right. We also have...
That's me!
With Klee here, this all somehow feels like we're getting ready for a field trip.
There's nothing wrong with a more relaxed atmosphere, is there? Of course. We will soon see if my hypothesis has...
Actually, I'm still...
Me too.
But weren't you all fired up just...
Yeah, you're right.
Actually, I know what you're feeling. Saying...
Well, does anyone know the exact location of where we're headed, or should I do...
According to the prophecy, once we've figured out the answer, we should test it at the Lantern of Utmost Joy. Wait.
Oh, we know something about that.
What? Wow, that's amazing. You really know how to do everything under the sun.
Then we'll let you lead the way.
This is it! We're off to find the sacred location of the Lantern of...
Aww. I don't see any lanterns. Now that I think about it, the prophecy didn't say anything about what the Lantern of Utmost Joy actually looks like, right? Traveler, are you trying to figure out something else from the paper?
Paimon's reading too. But there's nothing about us. The wind didn't trick us, did it? Place the squirrel on the back of the pointy-eared cat, and a pious puppy will open the doors to show you the way.
Look! The wind is blowing!
what a strong wind current. Let's ride it up and see where it leads us.
Huh? We'll have to fly up there?
Here.
Ah! This is the first time I've ever flown like this!
How did this little island get up here in the sky? Did somebody make it?
Just to be safe, I've been jotting down our entire route here. This way.
Oh, good thinking, Kale. Huh. Who would have thought we'd find this kind of table here?
I never would have guessed that such a place could exist. Right above Mondstadt, too.
Wow, look at that pretty lantern on the table. There's even a chair for each side of the lantern.
There seems to be something on the back of this chair. Let me have a closer look. Take your seat, present your answers, and you shall reach enlightenment. Well, as far as instructions go, I guess that's simple enough.
So we just need to do as it says, right?
Wait a second.
Huh? What is it, Albie?
We'd better make sure this place is safe before taking our seats. Everyone, please stay clear for a moment.
Well, all our questions and doubts aside, the scenery here is pretty amazing. It'd be impossible to feel stressed here.
How is everything, Albedo?
Everything seems to be fine. I didn't find any traps or suspicious mechanisms.